Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be giving you some tea. Would you like some tea and some crumpets? Totally not making fun of my British peeps. I love all of my UK followers, all of my peeps. I don't know if I sounded kind of British or Australian, but whatever the situation is, a lot of you have asked for the tea, honey, and I am here. I am here to give it to you. A lot of you want to know about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, I believe, and Prince Harry. You want to know the tea, what's happening, why did they leave? I'm here to give you all that juicy tea, all that beautiful tea. So sit down, get relaxed, prop your feet up, put in your headphones, or just listen to me out loud, okay? So I'm just going to say this is my favorite couple. Like, I love them. I really do. Only because I feel like they're so authentic when the whole people in the world, like a lot of people around the world, have hated Meghan, like for whatever reason that they have, because maybe she's a woman of color, or mixed in some way. And I just adore Harry. He is the epitome of Princess Diana, and he took after her. He is not like his family. He is not like the royal family. That is one of the reasons that I want to do this updated reading. There is a reason why these two got away from Britain. There's so much craziness in Europe right now around these two. It was very stifling. So many people hated, a lot of British people hated Meghan. A lot of them accepted her and loved her. But when they looked at the royal family, you don't see this kind of hate with Kate and William. You don't see that kind of animosity and craziness that we see with this beautiful young couple. I see that their marriage is going to continue to last. I feel like they're very happy. I feel like they're trying to explore new areas, looking at homes, properties, and things of that nature. I actually feel like they may have security around them. I feel like there is a big gift that Prince Harry is going to be giving to Meghan. I don't know what this is, but there is something. It could be one of these real estates, because I keep getting real estates a lot around these two. I also feel like we're not going to see them a lot in the spotlights. We may see paparazzi hounding them and trying to follow them. But for the most part, I feel like they need downtime. They need to relax. This is very traumatic. What's happening in the world, the pandemic, what's happening with the royal family, with the scandals centered around Prince Andrew, and all of that. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing. I do feel like there is a lot of betrayal that people in the royal family feel from the fact that Prince Harry left them, and Meghan too. They feel like they are outcasts. I feel like they are kind of like shunned from certain people in the royal family. I feel like the Queen would have them back if they wanted to, but there would be stipulations and regulations that they would have to adhere to. And I don't feel like these two are going to do that. I feel like they march to the beat of their own drum, and they could never deny Prince Harry, his money and his fortune. That is his. He has the royal bloodline to him. But I do get that there is something new coming. I don't want to say this, but I do feel like that Meghan could fall pregnant again within the next 2 years from this reading. Within the next 2 to 3 years, she could have a second edition. And I do feel like the next one very much could be, it could be a girl. It could be a girl. So we will just have to see what is coming up, what is going to happen. But I do feel like that she's still going to have another child. I think a lot of people have feel like she's the one that wanted to come back to the Canada or the USA. She wanted to be in Hollywood again, etc. But you have to understand that the times that we are living in is not the 18th century, or 16th century, when things were so rigid. I feel like she has her own way of being, and so does Prince Harry. It wouldn't even shock me if Prince Harry opens up some business deals, or has some kind of business deals open up. I see him kind of doing that here in America and in Canada, so I get that very much happening. I also feel like there's so many options. Meghan going back slowly and transitioning into the acting world again. Will she come back to TV? I honestly feel like she will. I also feel like there is a book eventually that she's going to be working on. There is something about a clothing line as well for her. There's a lot of different projects and things that she will be focused on. And these two are always going to have like negative energy vampires all around the world, always talking about them, okay? And always wishing them the worst because they radiate a lot of light. And in some ways, I feel like Princess Diana, like I said in the last reading that I did maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, that Princess Diana is the guiding force around them. She is their protector. And so I feel like a lot of good things are coming over the next 2 years for them. However, I do feel like Prince William is going to be going through something. I feel like the family is trying to make him feel guilty for leaving. So there's this guilt trip. There is going to be something that pulls them back for maybe a couple of months back to the British lands, to the UK. There is going to be something that pulls them back. That is what I keep getting. I also feel like deep inside that Harry would be struggling, even though he puts a big face. He puts on a very happy persona, etc. He's very sweet, but at the end of the day, I feel like he does suffer from some depressiveness. And this is not me diagnosing. Again, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I get from spirit, is that there would be some kind of emotional trauma that he is going through because of the fact that, he's just been put under so much scrutiny. And again, I feel like the family are going to try this guilt trip type of thing. A lot of people within the royal family and a lot of people in Britain want him to divorce Meghan. They want them to get separated completely. However, there is a lot of these two kids. I call them kids. I don't know why. I'm older than them. I think I'm 37, going to be 38 next month and on the 26th. But anyways, I feel like, these two kids, I'm going to call them that. I feel like they are a power couple and they would produce money of their own and more opportunities and things, staying away from the royal family, even though I know that there is some kind of duties or things like that. I do feel like, even though they are soulmates, like I've said before, and they are meant to come together in this lifetime, somewhere down, and this is me just giving you the tea from spirit. Again, I can't confirm or deny. And a lot of people are probably asking, well, you did the other reading. You never mentioned that they would, you never mentioned what you're about to mention. And you have to understand that every reading that I do, just like I do for my private readings for clients, every reading is going to be different because it's snippets and timelines. I don't like to give them, but I do feel like at some point within the next 7 years, these two could sadly separate. And I'm not saying they would divorce, but they could separate and spend some time apart from one another. Okay, it could end up in a divorce. But the reason that I feel like this is going to happen or could potentially happen is because I feel like people grow apart from one another when they get to a certain age, when they get to a certain conformity, and I feel like they're being both pulled in two different directions. I feel like Harry loves the fact that Meghan is very spontaneous. She's very much a go-getter, and she just loves, laughing and having a good time. She's a very high vibration person. Again, a lot of people may not agree with me, but I don't care. And Harry is he's very sweet, very mellow. He's funny too. He has a funny side. And their child, they're going to always be unified by their children. And I say children because I feel like there is another one potentially happening. But I do feel like at some point they could end up kind of like slowly getting away from one another. That is subject. I could be entirely wrong on that. Don't hold me to that. But I do feel within the next 7 years, there are some trying situations where Meghan, could want some space away from the British family, and Harry wants to reconnect because he has such a sweetheart. And let's say, Queen Elizabeth, she got sick or something, Lord forbid, but if she did, he would have to go out there, or there's some other kind of tragic, it could be any other person in the royal family. They would, Prince Harry would go and be with them for a while, and he would be accepted. However, I feel like she would not be given the Satan treatment. There's a lot of biasness, people that are biased and prejudiced against Meghan Markle because she is a woman of color, and I keep saying that because she is mixed. So there's a lot of people that don't like her for that, and I actually think she's a very sweet person. And trust me, I'm not easily manipulated, like other people are when it comes to seeing energies, because people can put on good masks and stuff, and I don't see that. I feel like she's very genuine and a very good person. I really, really like her, and I really like Prince Harry. He is like the only one in the royal family that I feel like I could be best friends with. But I do see a lot of money for the both of them. I see them both accomplishing so much through this marriage and breaking boundaries, and also like interracial couples. They're like paving a way for interracial couples to kind of have this sense of, they have a voice too, and that it can work out. It can work out if you make it work out. But a lot of people that have these the problems with them being together, it's because they don't like, a lot of them hold on to an old type of vibration that's like a 3D mentality, where a lot of our ancestors were very much, well, if you marry another race, I'm not going to, you're no longer part of this family, or you are not, allowed to do that. A lot of, again, racism, a lot of prejudice. These are old, contrived beliefs, and they're outdated, and that's like an old consciousness that doesn't resonate anymore with today's people. But though there are some people today, the same people that have been spinning these stories and narratives against Meghan and trying to break them up and causes drama, they will eventually get what they want. But I don't feel it's going to be at their hands, but rather a mutual decision, and they would, Meghan and Harry would always remain friends and always have that connection. Of course, like I said, their children will bond. There will be a point where Harry does return back to the throne. When I mean to the throne, I mean returning back to the UK, to the royal family in the future. And I do feel him staying over there permanently, and still traveling to the USA. But I also feel like the children, like, they could spend some time over there with the royal family. I do feel like Meghan does need to be very careful, because again, like I said, there's a lot of shadiness in this world. A lot of people, you saw what happened to Princess Diana. She was, like I said, she was taken out, even though a lot of people think that that's a conspiracy. They think it was just a coincidence that accident happened in that tunnel, in the vehicle. But the vehicle was tampered with, and I've spoken about this freely, when I did her reading. I believe I did cover that. But whatever the situation is, I feel like they still have time together. I feel like they still are creating history. I feel like there's a lot of good things coming forth. I feel like when it comes, one of the things I know that a lot of people that are listening to this want to know about Meghan's father, I don't like him. I really don't. And I don't usually use my platform to talk verbally bad about someone, but I don't like her father. He's very toxic, very much a narcissist, and he doesn't care about his daughter's well-being. For him, it would be easier to sell a story rather than to, respect and protect his child from the media and etc. And that just goes to show you how a lot of people can be. And blood is not always thicker, that's just the way it is. And I feel like the family, like especially him, he's going to continue to try to provoke and do things. And I feel like Meghan has had it, and I feel like she cuts him out of her life would be the best thing, to cut her father out completely. And I feel like she will, and it's very painful for her. I can't imagine what she's going through, because it's so public, and people don't respect it. They don't respect it, and they agree with the father, because the father says things, which is all lies. Like I said, he's a very manipulative person, and that's just my tea from spirit. Her mom is like, just like her, very sweet, very quiet, and I can see why the mom would have issues with her dad, being like this. Like, it's crazy. But she has so many other projects. I'm excited to see everything that she's going to be doing. I feel like there's a lot of humanitarian work, like I said, for these two. And I wish them all the best. And I wish all of my British people all the best. I love you so, so much. If you have any more British requests or readings on British celebrities, please comment in the comment section below. I'm going to be doing one on is it Gemma Collins. I love her. I absolutely adore her. So yeah. Going into British accent, I'm absolutely fine. I'm not, losing my mind. A lot of you that are kind of seeing me as I do my readings and, doing these parodies and these accents, I'm just trying to bring some flavor and some of my comical side that I've kind of held back a lot, and I've held my tongue a lot, in a lot of these readings, because a lot of my readings sometimes they're deemed, quote unquote, by YouTube controversial, and so they get demonetized, and so I can't really like say certain things. But follow my IG, follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't. If you have an Instagram, please follow me at Psychic Medium Ray. Look at my stories, because I put a lot of truth in my stories, and a lot of people are freaking out because of the stories that I'm putting on my YouTube channel. But check that out. Subscribe to, follow me, and there's a potential that you will like the content as well on there. And again, if you haven't already signed up for Patreon, there's a lot of material that I'm teaching, like psychic and mediumship classes on Patreon, that I'm not putting here out on the YouTube world, because again, I feel like it needs to be more in an intimate area where it's a safe space for my students that are taking my courses. So I love you so, so much. Blessings and love and light. And until next time, bye.